They quite literally vanished. Well, sort of. Starting with geography, Karak Vlag was a dwarf Karak, which was situated on the very tip of the World's Edge Mountains. Being on the south side of the high pass, for a long time it was considered the northernmost dwarf hold and was renowned for the stonemasonry of its population. The dwarfs of Karak Vlag, by trading with the dwarfs farther south than them as well as the Kislevites to the west, became very wealthy, and Karak Vlag became a bastion of civilization along the desolate path that was the high pass. During the Great Greenskin migrations, where many dwarf holds like Karak Ungol fell, Karak Vlag wasn't really affected as its location was very nestled away, and any small bands of orcs that did come its way were pretty quickly slaughtered. Although on the tail end of the Great Migrations, a massive horde came to Karak Vlag, besieging the fortress city and launching great attacks against its walls. Most of these orcs died attacking the gates, however a large number managed to press their way past and into the Great Hall. But the dwarves had planned for this and used their compartmentalization, bringing down massive iron gates and pocketing large portions of the orc army, allowing the dwarves to pretty easily slaughter the invaders with little trouble. Having repulsed the orc invasion, the dwarfs of Karak Vlag returned to their prospering, living high for several more centuries. That is until the Great War against Chaos began. Now don't get worried, this isn't a Karag Dum situation. Karak Vlag was never assailed by any great armies of chaos. They sort of just blew past Karak Vlag and charged into Kislev. However, as the war against Chaos raged and then calmed and ended, the other holds became worried of what happened to the Karak Vlag, as no news had come of it since the hordes of Chaos had came. Scouts dispatched from Karak attempted to find the Desolation hold, however they entirely failed, sweeping the high pass double over. They quickly came to the conclusion that they had no idea where the fuck it went. Some scouts even went as far as to say it was like it had never been there at all. So what really happened to Karak Vlag? Well, nobody really knows in universe. It's something that isn't talked about in the slightest. Not because nobody has any interest, the dwarfs would love to know what happened to it, but it's so creepy and unnerving to them that they just rather keep it in the dark, you know? However, from an out-of-universe perspective, we know exactly what happened. See, the dwarfs of Karak Vlag were entirely unbothered by the Great War of Chaos. It's likely they didn't even know it was happening, they just kept happily digging at the earth, mining deeper and deeper into the ground. Unfortunately, they still found chaos in the form of Galrauch, a chaos dragon that was sleeping right below their feet for hundreds of years. However, it was still deep in slumber, and if the dwarfs had just sealed up the cave and ran for the hills being back to their hold, they might have been able to survive for several more centuries without awakening that giant beast. However, their king, upon seeing Galrauch's massive hoard of treasure, decided he needed himself some of that and ordered the miners to begin packing up as much gold as possible. Unbeknownst to him though, the gold had a curse on it that immediately woke up Galrauch, and after rolling off his giant pile of treasure, Galrauch realized that little buggers were trying to make off with his shit. So he immediately began to chase down the dwarfs, killing all of the party except for the unnamed king of Karak Vlag and some of his retainers, who used some packed up explosives to destroy the tunnel and flee to the hold. Now, something to understand about Karaks are they're incredible at keeping people out. However, when it comes to repelling invasions from within, it gets a little shitty from all parties involved, be it goblins or Skaven, unless one of the parties involved is a dragon snaking its way through the halls of a dwarf Karak. In that case, it's only shitty for the dwarves. Galrauch immediately began eating dwarves and using his mind to explode more dwarves. Having incredibly powerful magical abilities, he was able to annihilate entire sections of the hold with ease, wreaking havoc on civilian and military sectors. The Rune Masters and the armies of Karak Vlag tried to fight back, but a dragon with the magical abilities of a Lord of Change would probably be too much for a hold to take on even from the front, let alone from the back. Karak Vlag was so annihilated from the attack, mainly by magic, that it literally disassociated from the mortal realm, phasing in and out of reality regularly. The destroyed ruin of Karak Vlag is still around sometimes, however everybody who has found it since its destruction hasn't lived to tell the tale, as the corpse of Karak Vlag, which means Desolation Hold in Khazalid, is now overflowing with demons. A testament to both the greed of dwarves and the power of dragons, especially magical dragons. In conclusion, dwarfs are pretty based and greed-pilled. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the video if you want these videos similar to this one. See ya. ¡Somos grandes, viva Chile, mierda! De pronto se viene a comparsa a llegar, de pronto se oye venir un grito de bulla y fervor popular, que habla y decora, su mismo dice el rumbo, chileno, chileno, chileno de corazón, salta en la barra y dale al tambor, que Chile va cerca, más fuerte. Chileno, chileno, chileno de corazón, dale la barra y dale al tambor, Chile va cerca.
en la mierda! ¡Asco de mierda! ¡La Chiresade le hizo un conjuro